Hello everyone, and welcome back to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I hope you're all very well. You rejoin us here in exactly the same place where we left off in the last episode. And in this episode we've got quite a lot to be going on with, so it will be quite a long episode. To start with, we're going through Solaceon Town, then we're going to go through the Solaceon Ruins, then we're going to go via Route 210 and Route 215 to get to Veilstone City. And we will also explore Veilstone City. So yeah, a lot to be getting on with. So you've seen in the background, I entered Celestion Town and there are some berry trees available that I'd recommend picking the berries off. If you go into the mart, there is also some new types of Pokeball available. We've seen the net and the nest ball before. In this market you can now also buy the dusk ball. Now dusk balls are really useful. They have a high capture chance similar to an ultra ball, and they actually have an even higher capture chance when they're used, I believe it's at night or when in a cave, anywhere dark basically. So I definitely recommend picking some of those up, as it'll make things a lot easier capturing Pokemon in the future. If you speak to this man in the middle of town, he'll give you this app here, which is Pokemon History, and it will show you the last 12 Pokemon that you captured. So yeah, I'm not sure what the... well, not even the ones you captured, it includes evolutions as well, as you saw Luxray was on there. But I'm not sure what the usefulness of that is, but anyway. So carrying on around Celestion Town, you see in this house to the right there is the Pokemon News Press. Within this house, if you look on the computer, you can get information about all the different types of Pokeballs you've seen so far. If you talk to the man with the glasses on the left, he'll ask to see a certain Pokemon. So in my case here, it's an Abra, which unfortunately I can't show him as we've evolved ours to Kadabra. But if you do show it to him, you can receive all different types of reward. This reward will be like a different type of Pokeball. It can be from almost any Pokeball, apart from you won't receive a Master Ball or a Cherish Ball. But any other type of Pokeball can be obtained from him. So coming over to the left hand side of town here, you'll see that this is the Pokemon Nursery. The old man outside basically just gives you information as to whether the two you've left in there have given eggs or not. If you go inside, the only person in here is this old lady, who if you speak to, you can put your Pokemon into the daycare and they'll level up and get 1 XP for every step you take in the overworld. So in my case, I'm just going to chuck 2 Pokemon in here just for the sake of getting them some XP. Why not? I think I'll put Gyarados in as well. While I've got you here, if I could please ask, if you're enjoying this series so far and enjoy this episode, please could you hit the subscribe button, as it massively helps my channel, and it'll also allow you to see when I upload more episodes in future. I am uploading this series every day, at least 1 episode at 1 o'clock, often uploading more than 1 episode. So if you do want to see more, click subscribe, hit the notification bell to be alerted of when I upload these videos. Continuing on then, to the north side of Solaceon Town is Route 210, but we're not going to go in there quite yet. If you go through this little gap in the trees, you can find all these little ledges, which if you hop down, you can access various buildings and also a type of ruins. So we'll check the buildings out first. This can be quite frustrating, as you can't actually access all the places in one set of hops. You have to hop down and then run right the way back around to then access the second place. So as you see there, we accessed one building, there was nothing in there to be seen, so we have to run all the way back around to now access the second building. There is actually an item in this top right hand corner, which you'll see here. There we go. And that item here is a jar of honey. if you hop... Oh no, I've gone down the wrong ledges. So I've hopped down the wrong ledge. This set of ledges here will allow you to get to that cave, the ruins on the right, which isn't ideal, as I'd rather check out this house on the left first. So I'll run back around and we'll have another look. So if you go in here, now we've made our way back around, you'll find a woman. She doesn't actually give you anything, so if you don't want to waste your own time, don't come back round here as of yet. But this woman will speak of a boy who absolutely loves Unknown. If you come back later on, after you've been to the ruins and found her son within the ruins, you can also find the son in here as well. I believe if you go and speak to the boy in that house after you've seen him, he does give you a reward for every different type of Unknown you show him. Unknown, which I've now kind of spoiled, are the Pokemon that you can find in these ruins just to the right. So if you go down the right hand path, go through the little gap in the trees, you then come out here by the ruins and you can go in. So there is one path you can take, which if you follow it all the way through, will lead you to a large cluster of items. So if at first you take this upper right hand staircase here, this is the first way to go, and if you do, it will take you through to the next chamber, which will contain the little boy who lives in that house that I was talking about. The left hand path leads to a dead end. However, it's worth noting that the dead ends can contain items. So I'll first do the proper way through, and then I'll get the dead ends on the way back. So yeah, the little boy will leave and he'll return to his house. So we'll just go all the way through and make our way to the item chamber. So first up you go through the upper right, then you go through the bottom left. In this chamber you'll find the only trainer, who's Rune Maniac Carl, who uses 2 Geodudes and a Bronzor. Then if you take the upper right hand path, and then the upper left, and then continue on the upper left, then go down to the lower left. You'll then find yourself in this chamber here. The message on this northern wall reads, "Friendship, all lives touch each other, lives to create something anew and alive." It's just an interesting message. There is a similar tablet like this with a message in the entrance chamber, which if you read that, it gives you the instructions for how to get to this chamber. So top right, lower left, top right, top left, lower left. So yeah, there's interesting messages left by the Unknown. And just south of this, there are 4 items. So these items are a nugget, a mind plate for Arceus and for boosting psychic type moves. There's a jar of odd incense, which boosts the power of psychic type moves and also allows the breeding of Mr. Mime and Mime Jr. And the final item is a rare candy used for leveling up your Pokemon by 1. So continuing back through here, you'll see that there's several of these like dead-end chambers, and they all have a singular rock inside. If you click on the rock, some of these have items contained within them. So you might as well, on the way back out, go through all of these, which I will do here. If you want to save yourself time, just keep an eye on which ones of mine contain items and just come back to exactly the same ones. Some of the items are worth collecting, such as the big mushroom here. Okay, so we're back in the entrance chamber. And I believe this repel is the final item we have to find. The one thing we haven't had yet is a Pokemon encounter. So what we will do is we'll just go into a dead-end chamber. And we'll just run around here until we finally get our first encounter with an unknown. There we are. So it looks like we've got unknown X to begin with, which we'll go ahead and capture. I'm not going to capture all of the unknown. I just want one to add to my Pokedex. So, Unknown's Pokedex entry. Because the Pokemon is shaped like ancient writing, it is a huge mystery whether written language or Unknown came first. It's quite an interesting thought. So that's everything you can do in the ruins for now, unless you're seeking to capture all of the Unknown. If you are seeking to capture all the Unknown, as I've said, you can speak to the boy in the house for every single one you show him, and he will give you a reward. There is also a man in a tunnel in a future route, which I will detail when we get there, who digs further and further depending on how many Unknown you have caught, because he wants to try and race you to see what can happen first. So that's kind of like an interesting mini game. So if you want to stay there, you can try and capture all of the Unknown. I believe the only ones not available in there are the question mark and the exclamation mark. But now we're done in the ruins. If you come back to Solaceon Town and you head to the north, you come to Route 210, as I said earlier. So this is a reasonably short route, but it does have a few trainers on it. So just to this left-hand side, stood in the grass, you do have Rancher Marco, who, whilst his first Pokemon here, Apom, is unremarkable, his second is one we've yet to see before. So this Pokemon is a Girafarig, which is a Psychic type Pokemon. You will be able to capture one of these just after Veilstone City, but it's a unique Pokemon for now, one that we haven't seen. And his final Pokemon is a Psyduck, level 19. Should really switch to another party member, but I'm not sure I can be bothered. I'll just attack it with more water attacks. I'm sure Manaphy will get through. So on the lower eastern side of this route, you'll see there are 4 berry trees. So this includes 2 Aspear berries, 4 Aspear berries, sorry. I believe it's 2 Bluckberries, raspberries, and 2 Pinap berries. Now we've obtained those, we can run back through and head up this cycling path which requires the bike to get up. Make sure you're in gear 4. Oh, nearly went too far. So the first trainer up here is Jogger Wyatt, who only uses one Pokemon, which is a Ponyta, level 21. If you head past the Jogger and speak to this person on the corner of this ledge, they will give you some TM51s. TM51 contains the move Roost, and what Roost does is it allows your flying type Pokemon to regain half of their HP. So a useful move for flying type Pokemon. Just having a scan around, seeing if there's any hidden items up on that ledge, which it doesn't look like there is. So heading on down the path, you find these two trainers here, who are Belle and Par, Ava and Matt, and they use Stunky and Glameow, both level 21. So after defeating those, you can continue to head round to the north, where you'll face off against this trainer here. This is Pokemon Breeder Amber, and she also uses a Pokemon that we haven't seen yet before. I believe it's the third member of her team. Her first two, she uses a Cleffa, level 19, and then she uses the evolved form of Cleffa, Clefairy, level 17. Interestingly, the evolved one is a lower level. And then the final Pokemon that she uses, that we haven't yet seen before, is a Happiny, level 18. So Happiny is the baby form of the Pokemon that we saw in last episode and called Chansey. And this is it here. You can see they're quite visually similar. Happiny is also the Pokemon that is contained within the egg that is within our party. Apologies for the spoilers. You'll see there I used, well, it's not a super effective move, it was a strong move against Happiny, and being 10 levels higher and it being a baby Pokemon, I would expect that to have one hit it, but the amount of HP that Happiny has means that it managed to survive the attack. So anyway, I'll take out the final Pokemon from this Pokemon breeder, and then we'll move on. So now I've done that, I'm actually going to head back to the west. As you'll see, there's another route we could go through when not interrupted by wild Pokemon. Sorry, interrupted again, this is relentless. Back at this ledge, of course, if you use your bike, you can just scoot straight up and over this ledge. And on the other side are two trainers for a double battle. This is twins Terry and Tia, and they use a Pikachu level 21 and a Clefairy level 21. After defeating them, you can continue to follow the path and head up to the north, where you'll face off against another Pokemon breeder who uses a similar team to the breeder that we faced off earlier. Instead of Cleffa and Clefairy, this person uses Pichu and Pikachu, along with the aforementioned Happiny. And then just north of that, there is a Great Ball on the floor. So that's everything we could find down that little section. So we can now head in here, which is called the Cafe Cabin. There are 3 different trainers we can face off in here. The first off is this one here, which is Waitress Catty, and she uses a Clefairy level 22. And only the one Pokemon, thankfully. Now we've defeated her, I've actually just realised I didn't make the change to my team I planned to make previously. So I'm actually going to do that now and put it straight into my team. So one of the Pokemon I think I want to add to my team until the end game is actually Gengar. And I said in the last episode I wasn't sure whether I wanted to keep Kadabra or not, but I finally made the decision that Haunter and Gengar is the Pokemon I want for my team. As whilst the Ghost typing is similarly useful as Psychic, he also has the Poison type, which would be very useful against Fairy, which I needed coverage for. So yeah, Gasly is now welcome to the team. After doing that, you can now speak to these 2 collectors, and they both use the 2 evolved forms of the version exclusive Pokemon available in Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond. In the case of this trainer, which is Collector Edwin, he uses 3 Sudowoodo, all level 19, and these are of course the Pokemon that are exclusive to Shining Pearl. The other collector to the left of him is Collector Fernando, and he uses 3 Mr. Mime, 1 level 17 and 2 level 20. So that's all the trainers within this area defeated. Now that's done, we can head over towards the counter within this cafe. And if we speak to the person at the counter, you can buy bottles of Moo Moo milk, which are $500 per bottle. But they are more than worth it, as they resupply a lot of HP, 100 HP as a matter of fact, and are actually cheaper than super potions, which only do 60 HP. So they're definitely worth picking up a few. I picked up 20 in this case. Now you'll see our progression into the next route via the north is blocked by a group of angry Psyduck. So that forces us to head off to the east and into Route 215 towards Veilstone City. First thing we spot coming to this route is there's a honey tree, so we will slather that with honey. I have been coming back off camera to check these trees and see if there's anything useful in them. And so far we've had nothing but Wurmple, so I haven't felt the need to include any on video. Oh, that's interesting. So I found an Abra, so I'm going to try and catch this, as the person in Solaceon Town wanted to see an Abra, so it'd be quite handy if I could catch this and show it to him. We'll use our one Great Ball and just see if that works. Oh, unfortunately not, so he's going to teleport away. But anyway, so yeah, you can catch Abra on this route. You can also catch the previously seen Ponyta, Kricketune and Geodude. But one new Pokemon available in the wild, though not new to us, you can find Kadabra in this route. So if you didn't have Abra part of your team, as I did, then you probably need to see a Kadabra and catch one. Here's the place to do it. It has around a 15% encounter chance. So the first trainer we see in this route is Pokemaniac Calvin. As you can see, his first Pokemon here is a Bronzor, which is surprisingly strong defensively. Using that Flame Wheel there was super effective from Monferno, who's quite a few levels higher, and we still didn't manage to one-hit it. 13 levels higher and it managed to sponge that hit, which is quite impressive. But anyway, that's Bronzor taken out. So the second Pokemon that Rune Maniac Calvin uses is something we haven't seen before. It's Shieldon. So Shieldon is one of the fossil Pokemon that you can find and is exclusive to Shining Pearl. Similar to how we've seen Gyarados already when we faced off against Gym Leader Rourke, this is the opposite Pokemon to that, and it evolves into Bastiodon. These Pokemon are very strong defensively, but lack somewhat offensively. You'll see that I'm using Flame Wheel here and it's doing almost nothing to the Shieldon. But the reason for that is, while Shieldon is Steel type, it's Rock and Steel type. So my Fire type move is not super effective. However, my Fighting type move is quadruply effective, as it's super effective against both the Rock and the Steel. And that is Rune Maniac Calvin defeated. So we can proceed on. Now we've done that, if we head off to the east, you'll see there's an item on the floor. The item is an Ether, which is an item used for restoring PP in one of your Pokemon's moves. And then just by the Ether running around it is Jogger Craig. Jogger Craig uses a level 19 Luxio, a level 21 Staravia, and a level 20 Ponyta. Heading just up this little path, just past the Jogger, you can speak to this black belt and he'll give you some TM66s. TM66 is for the move Payback. Payback is a move which, when you get hit first and then you use your move, so better for slow Pokemon, when you use it, you then deal additional damage. So yeah, definitely recommended for a slow Pokemon. Heading over the bridges and continuing this clockwise motion, you do face off against this black belt. And this is Black Belt Gregory, who uses 2 Meditites and a Machop, which is again nothing new. and just south of him was the Fist Plate. You can skip this bit of path and this trainer by jumping over the ledge. We decided to go back and face off against this trainer here, and he does use something we haven't seen before, which is the Pokemon Krogunk. So Krogunk is an interesting typing in that he is poison and fighting type. Poison and fighting type makes him weak to flying, for example, but also quadruply weak to psychic type. So if you have a psychic type, like the Kadabra I just took out of my team, that would be very effective against him. Now that Derek's defeated, we can continue round towards this southern area. If we use Cut here, we can access 2 more berry trees, and we can see an item on the ledge just above us. So in the berry trees are 2 Bluckberries and 2 Pecha Berries. Bluckberries being, to remind you, the berries used for poffins, and Pecha Berries used for healing you up from poison. So similar to an antidote. So heading to get this item at the top of this ledge is a guard spec. And then proceeding up to the north, you can see there's another cut tree here, which if we use, just skips us through to this next part here, without having to go through the grass. Just past this cut tree is another trainer. This trainer is Black Belt Nathaniel, who uses a Krogunk, a Machop, and a Meditite. All Pokemon we've seen before. So just have another scan around for a hidden item, and I remember there is something just up here. So if you scan on here, I can see that the item is just within this, just outside of this tree. And this item is a Hyper Potion, which is a pretty expensive item, which heals 200 HP rather on your Pokemon. So a very useful healing item. On the eastern side of this route, there is a cut tree. If you cut through, you can find TM34, which is for the move Shockwave, which is a 60 damage move that's similar to Aerial Ace for the flying types, cannot miss. Then just past that is one more trainer who is Jogger Scott, who uses a Staravia level 23. We'll quickly restore the HP of our Pokemon here as they've taken a bit of a battering. There we are, that'll probably do us. There is one item in this top right hand corner through this large patch of grass, which I've missed. If you head up to the northeastern section, you can find a hidden bottle of zinc in one of the trees that's used for raising the effort values of special defense on one of your Pokemon. So we'll just quickly find that. And there we go, that's the zinc found. So now we can continue on, following the path, and you see there is an item just down in the bottom left here, which we'll quickly grab. This is a full heal, which is used to restore any status ailment on our Pokemon. And then there's one last trainer battle within this route, and this is Ace Trainer Dennis and Ace Trainer Maya, who aren't as boring as the previous trainers we've faced. They actually use some rather unique Pokemon. The first one here is Monferno, who of course is our starter Pokemon, or our current stage of our starter Pokemon. If you started with Piplup or with Turtwig, this will probably be the first time you've seen a Monferno, so it's not that you can avoid them, but yeah, definitely worth battling them. We're actually running out of PP on a lot of our moves here, but thankfully we're near to the next city, so I don't have to use an Ether or anything. Although a flinch is not ideal. So the second Pokemon used by Ace Trainer Maya is a Kadabra, which is reasonably strong. But the Pokemon we're interested in is the second Pokemon of Ace Trainer Dennis, which we'll see after we've hit these moves here. So we are now set to get our first sighting of a Gyarados. So Gyarados is the evolved form of Magikarp. It's a water and flying type, despite its dragon-like appearance. And it's extremely strong, which is ironic considering it evolves from a Magikarp, probably the weakest Pokemon in the game. But yeah, you need to be somewhat careful facing off against this. But it shouldn't be too difficult as it is only level 23. And that's the two Ace Trainers defeated. With that, we did level up our Gastly. So despite only very recently joining the team, he is already going to evolve into another Pokemon. And there we go. So we now have a Haunter on our team, who is the mid-stage level of Gastly, and obviously the prior Pokemon to Gengar. It can slip through any obstacle. It lurks within walls to keep an eye on its foe. I also have the option here of learning the move Shadow Punch, which I will... Actually, I'm not going to do for now, because the problem with Shadow Punch is it's a physical-based move, so it uses your attack stat, and Haunter has very poor attack, but very good special attack, so we don't really want to use that. Just north of this small set of stairs, there are two new berries, or two new berry trees, with two berries each on them. These contain Wiki berries and Mago berries, both used for making puffins. And then you can head through this little walkway, and you will be in Veilstone City. So the first thing you see upon entering Veilstone City is two galactic grunts stood by a road walkway. And they are said to be stood outside the Galactic Warehouse. So Galactic are everywhere around this city, it appears. Now in this courtyard, you can come up here, and there is an item hidden. And the hidden item here is a tiny mushroom. There are a couple of items actually hidden around Veilstone City, so we will find those and then explore the rest of the city before we end the episode. If you head up here, you get a nice viewpoint of Veilstone City. So for any other YouTubers out there who are looking for a thumbnail, that's probably the one to look for. There's an item here just to the west of that viewpoint, but you cannot access it yet without having the HM for Rock Climb, which we currently don't. So I'm going to continue using the dowsing machine a lot of the times around here, as it makes things a lot easier to find. Heading down and up this set of stairs in the southwest area, There is a trainer here who will give you some TM63s. So TM63 is for the move Nasty Plot. This is a dark type move that increases your Pokemon's special attack by 2 stages. So it's a good move to give to potentially someone like Haunter. In the house just above him, there is this lady here who will offer to give a massage to your Pokemon. So the point of massaging your Pokemon is she will give you a sticker first and foremost, but it'll also raise the friendliness of the Pokemon that you massage. You can only do this once per day, however, but it's useful if you're trying to evolve a Pokemon that evolves via happiness. In the house just to the east of that massage room, there is this house here, which doesn't contain anything useful, so you don't have to come in. And then just to the west, and if you head upwards, there is the Pokemon Gym, which we'll see here. Dawn is stood outside. She's been working on her Pokedex, but she can't stop shopping, which is something we'll do soon when we head into the Veilstone department store. So of course this is the gym. We're not going to do that right now. We will do that in the next episode, at the start of the next episode. So make sure you rejoin me for that. Next up is the Metronome style shop, which is a clothes shop, and I believe the first that we've encountered in this game. This used to be the Veilstone Game Corner in previous games. I'm not sure why they removed the Game Corner. I don't know if it's something to do with the suggestion of child gambling or something, but yeah, they've now changed it to a clothes shop, and within here you can buy a number of different outfits, which are quite cool, ranging from the cheapest at 8,500 all the way down to the most expensive and eye-watering 120,000 Poké Dollars. Though it does look, whilst it looks rather cool, it looks kind of camp as well. I'm actually going to use this shop to change my style, as I currently have the Platinum style outfit, which we obtained from Mystery Gift in an earlier episode. And I think this looks quite cool, so I'm going to change into that. There's nothing else to be obtained in here, so you can just head straight out after that. We'll then go in this little building to the east, which is the Style Stop Storage. Again, there's nothing to be seen in here, so there's no need for you to check it out. I'm just showing you for effect. Heading further over to the east then, you'll see all these little pits with meteorites in. I'm having a little scan to see if there's any hidden items, but what these meteorites are actually for is for if you have the Pokemon Deoxys, when you click on these meteorites, it will change the form of your Deoxys. So that's all they're there for, really. Heading back around here then, we can see there is the Pokemon Center, which we still need to use as we haven't recovered since the last route. So we'll come in here and quickly heal up. There is a hidden item around here somewhere, though I think it might be on the other side of the department store. But first off, we have these houses here. In the first house, there are some people that give some information around the creation of Sinnoh, and there's mention of the Pokemon who can hide in various disguises. That Pokemon is Wormadam, who's one we've yet to see just yet. But Wormadam is a Pokemon that you can find within honey trees. So, heading over to the department store, I believe there is an item on this left-hand side behind the tree. I'll just double check. Nothing doing... Oh yeah, there we go. I thought so. So we head up here. Oh, I accidentally clicked Monferno. And there it is. The item you can find is a Revive, which is an item used for if your Pokemon has fainted, it will bring them back with half HP. So they can continue to gain XP and obviously be used again in battle. So we're going to go through all these different bits of the department store and run through what they sell. So first up, this is the standard medicine area, and they sell several items we haven't seen before, which are the HP recovering Hyper Potion and Max Potion, and the aforementioned Revives. The teller to her left sells a new type of Pokeball, which is the Ultra Ball, and you can also buy all different types of Repel, including the Max Repel. All I'm going to buy for now is just 20 Ultra Balls. Heading up to the second floor. We find there is 3 cashiers this time, each trading in a different item. So the first that we speak to gives us a new Poketch app. This app is the Counter app. So it's an app you can just click on and you can count up one by one. It can go up to 9999 or 9999. The usefulness of that is if you're Poke Radar chaining in search for a shiny, which is something you can do in the post game once you have the National Pokedex, you can use the Counter app to track your chain. So the middle cashier sells EV boosting items that we've seen before, like zinc and calcium. And then the northmost cashier sells in battle use items such as X attacks and guard spec. Now on the next floor we find a cashier who sells TMs. Both cashiers actually sell TMs as well. And we find that they're a little bit cheaper than we expected. They used to always be really expensive, but these here are between £3,000 and £1,000, so we're going to pick up a couple of these. I picked up Bulldoze for a ground type move, which could be handy to have on one of our Pokemon. I also picked up False Swipe, although I'm not sure any of our team can learn it currently. But what False Swipe does is it never damages a Pokemon beyond 1 HP, so it's a useful move for if you're trying to capture Pokemon, because you can get them right down to 1 HP. And there are many other useful moves, such as Swords Dance was in there as well, which is good for raising your attack. And also Flash, which obviously we used our one instance of Flash on Kadabra when we went in Wayward Cave, so I'll grab another one just in case. The lower TM seller sells more high power moves, so I'm actually going to sell a few items to her first, as I believe we have a couple of items which are of value to her, which might help if we need to purchase any TMs. So what I'm looking for here is we definitely found a nugget in the Solaceon Ruins, so that's what I'm looking to sell. So this is medicines, it's not in here. TMs. Oh, here we go. So this is the treasures pocket. So you can see we've got quite a few items we can sell. I believe the mushrooms are collectible, so we don't want to sell those, but I will sell the nugget and the 2 bags of Stardust we've found so far. So that gets us 7,000 more Poké Dollars. Now let's look at what TMs she has to sell. So she has a lot of the high power moves. You can see here Thunder, Blizzard, Fire Blast are there. Focus Blast. She also has Hyper Beam. Flamethrower as well as a strong move. So there's a lot of useful moves here for you to teach your Pokemon. And if you're looking for any of these, they're fairly cheap, being only 3,000 each. I'm not going to pick any of these up myself just yet, but I may come back and do so later on. Heading onwards, we find ourselves on the 4th floor. So the 4th floor sells, first up, pedestals for use in your secret base, for displaying things within your secret base. I think I'll buy 1 square pedestal just for now, just a square pedestal for now. And then when we make our secret base, we can have a look into how we use the said pedestals. And that's the last vendor within this store. Though if you continue up onto the rooftop plaza, there are a few people up here and there's an item to get. But you can first go to this vending machine and you can buy beverages. So you can buy fresh water, a soda pop or a lemonade. And these items are HP restoring items for your Pokemon. And similar to the Moo Moo Milk, they're a lot cheaper than the potions you can buy from the stores. Heading round here then, if you speak to the gentleman at the front of this little stuck together group, you can find an item called the Sticky Barb. So he tells you what it does. It's a held item that if you're hit with a physical move, the Sticky Barb sticks to the opposition and will deal them damage. So now we've done that, we can head down to the ground floor, and that is everything there is to see currently in Veilstone City other than the Pokemon Gym. So what we're going to do is we're going to run quickly to the Pokemon Center, heal up our team, and then we'll head to the gym battle in the next episode. So I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. I think it's been quite a long one, but I think it's been very informative, and I should have shown everything that's available. If you have liked it, please drop a like, and it really helps support the video. And as I've said previously, please subscribe to see more of these in the future. Anyway, I've been your average gamer, and I'll catch you on the next one.